Okay, welcome again to KDRTV broadcast. We take this opportunity to thank all our subscribers, and we are almost hitting the 50K mark. That is on YouTube, and we are above 100K in or on Facebook. We really thank you guys to have been working with us in this particular journey for this long, and we appreciate your agility. We appreciate your critique. We are continuing to offer you the best which we can afford. And here today, we are going to speak a little bit more about what is happening in our country, Kenya. And before we start the discussion, we had invited one of our guests. Unfortunately, he has not managed because of a technicality, but I decided just to forthright bring forth some of the information we are receiving, especially from Kenyans online, or Kenyans also back at home, and who are really agitated by what the government is doing. So before we start that particular, let me call it, not really a discussion, because we are not having Dr. Newton Kiniti with us today. So I'll just be giving a brief talk on what I'm getting, all the information I'm getting online. So please bear with us, and right now we are going to bring on board our sponsors, the Lemify, and let's see exactly how they are performing compared to other competitors. If you look on the screen right now, you can see we have a dedicated page whereby we are comparing the dollar exchange rates to the Kenyan shillings. I would urge every person trying to send money to Africa or to whatever country they would like to, or if you're receiving money from Kenya or from Africa to the US or to Europe, please try this wonderful app called Lemify, which has really done great, especially in trying to protect the customer privacy. They have really tried their level best to ensure that their dedication to work, to professionalism is above reproach. So we're having a couple of competitors today, so let's try to do the comparison and see exactly who is beating the other one. So if maybe you are out there, you really want to send money to Africa, or you want to receive money from Africa, let's try to see which is the best option for today. Let's open now. You go to KDRTV page. Then when you are on the KDRTV page, there is what we call the compare dollar exchange rates to Kenyan shillings. This is the website. Okay, let me click on Lemify. You can see that on Lemify, you can accept the cookies. It's US dollars. You want to. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's US dollars. You receive, okay. Let me type K here. Okay. Okay, sorry. Let me go directly to the website, to the web page. I think it can be easier. Yeah, then you receive. Okay, let's just go easier this way. It's easier. Okay, click on Kenya. So when you send $100 using Lemify, $1 it is exchanging at 128 Kenya shillings. Now let's try a different. Let's try a different. How do I call it? Let's try a different app. So I'm going back here. Let me go back to the website. Just bear with me. Then we go back here. Paste again. We change. Go back. Okay. One second. Okay, we are there. Now let's go to Wave. Okay, Wave. Let's look for Kenya. Okay, here we go. So Wave, it is exchanging at 127.89. So Lemify is beating Wave. Okay, let's go back again. Change to a different one. Now, let's go to TapTap. Okay. TapTap is here. Looking for Kenya. Okay. They're actually exchanging at 127.5 Kenya shillings. So still, Lemify is beating them. Let's try again. Another app. I have to change this one here. Okay, let's go to Nala. Okay. To Kenya. You see, they're also changing at 127.37. So all in all, what we can actually tell you confidently that Lemify is beating some of the major exchange or sending up, or I mean the apps which we use to send money to Africa. So let's give a thumbs up to Lemify. Thank you. So let's now go back to our topic of discussion. And Kenyans, especially who are online, are really having a lot of agitation. I mean, they are really agitated by the government performance. They are really calling upon the President Ruto, to really rethink and refocus on what he needs to be doing for Kenyans. He was elected by Kenyans. He was given the mantle. He was given the constitution to fulfill the pledges which he made to Kenyans by improving their livelihoods. But each day Kenyans are really agitated. Kenyans are really crying out that things are not really working well. The unfortunate fact is that rather than the president and his team delivering, most of his teammates, especially the MPs who are in parliament and the ministers, have been heard ranting about how they are going to bring back again or re-elect the president. Whether Kenyans like it or not, they are going to elect him back. I mean, or they are going to use so many methodologies to ensure he's back in parliament. I mean, he's back in the office. That is in the general election, which is still way ahead, way far away in 2027. We are basically in 2025. but still people have started beating war drums. Some of them are threatening people, and as you know, we have got so many kids who are still out there, who are abducted. We don't really know exactly where they are. And today, we heard from a cabinet minister serving in his government, Mr. Justin Muturi, who really was guns out blessing, telling the president of that even his own kid or his own child was abducted, and up to date, the government has not really given him any information as to why they abducted the child. And the unfortunate fact out there is that even all this information, as we are receiving them, especially from the DCI or the Kenyan police are still claiming that they really don't know who are abducting these children. As you remember, on June 25th, when the GNCs had a revolt, a peaceful protest in Kenya, and you saw what was really happening on the streets. The police were using machine guns to shoot those children, and it was really a very painful experience, especially to parents. And these kids had only phones, which they were basically recording on how they're protesting. Some of them, we saw them enter into parliament very peacefully. They sat there. They really they had a message for the Republic of Kenya. They had a message for the MPs. But rather than now the president actually doing what is really needed of him, sitting down and really thinking, people thanked him. In the diaspora, we thanked him for really sitting down and saying the very best option for him is just to have an inclusive government. But the unfortunate fact is that after he had sacked, let me say 3/4 of the cabinet, unfortunately, the same friends, Kenyans were really having so many reservations, were crept back into government in different positions. Now some of them are called government advisors. We don't really know what kind of advice they're offering the president. Some of them had very serious, Kenyans had very serious concerns about them, about their credibility, about their service to the country. They have been mentioned in various corruption allegations or fraud, but the president still brought them back. And these are the same people who are really firing salvos to Kenyans, especially the youngsters on X, threatening them on taking very drastic changes even on the constitution to ensure the president is re-elected. So, Mr. President, is this really what we expecting from you? Is this really what Kenyans elected you to do? Can't you just change the focus and ensure that you serve the Kenyans diligently? And now let me focus on the diaspora perspective. The diaspora is really very much agitated, Mr. President. I can tell you that you had a huge following, especially in the diaspora, but as I'm speaking to you today, that I can tell you poignantly, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that the diaspora is losing completely. Each day they're actually losing hope in you. Some of the people who really supported you very much are really, if you ask them anything about you, they are telling you they don't really want to hear anything about you. So what really went wrong, Mr. President? What really went wrong? Can you backtrack and see exactly where you started, where the rain started beating you so that you can refocus and deliver to the Kenyans, rather than using your people to rant, using your people to threaten and intimidate people? You are elected to that office. That office you are just given by the Kenyan people. You didn't ascend to power without the Kenyan people going to the ballot and electing you. They elected you to serve them. They didn't elect you to rule over them. That is how democracy works. So if you are a Democrat, please retract back your steps and do the rightful thing of serving Kenyans diligently, of serving Kenyans without any favor, and then things will just be okay with you. But if you continue intimidating Kenyans, every day Kenyans are enraged, are really having some of the words which they are using online we cannot really disclose because this is a public forum. So I can tell you for sure that, Mr. President, things are not rosy the way you are really thinking. The diaspora, which I'm part of the team, they are really agitated with you. They are really whatever you are really doing is not really good for them. They are out here calling. I mean, some of them calling you huge names. I mean, big names. We don't really want to use that one, but we are basically telling you, as our president, that things are not really good. And to the opposition members who have now crossed over to the government, you understand your role. You understand your role as the opposition. You're supposed to ensure that the constitution is followed to the letter. If you also again start intimidating Kenyans, calling them names, abusing them, insulting them, Kenyans are really wondering what's really happening with you. You are elected. Yes, the president has decided to bring you on board. What you're supposed to be doing to the president is to advise him. Let's go this route. Let's follow this route. You also had your own manifesto. So can't you sit down with the president and tell him the right way to do, rather than going out there to start to rant and then make weird allegations threatening children? I mean, these are young children who are out there trying to request the government to feed them, to request the government to ensure they get jobs, to request the government that there is no corruption. Mr. President, we understand, even from your own parliamentarians, some of them have really had very serious reservations. I had Honorable Nyonka, Honorable Caleb Hamisi, talking about Adani deals. I mean, Mr. President, you understand all these things. There were no public participation. I don't really want to repeat most of this information. It is in the public limelight. So please do the very best and let Kenyans have a good governance structure so that we can go ahead. You can still be re-elected, but if you continue threatening people, things are not actually going to be rosy for you. Let those people beating war drums step back. You lead, so that Kenyans can have a peace of mind and say that they have a president in power who is really protecting their lives. Now, every day, people are getting information from the police or the DCI or the NIS, claiming that they don't know who is abducting these children. How do you really tell Kenyans that you don't know, or the government doesn't know who is abducting these children, while we have security organs or apparatus in the country who are supposed to ensure every Kenyan is protected? Even today, we saw a gallant city hopper driver trying to block a car which was kidnapping a Tanzanian national who is seeking refuge in Kenya. Mr. President, what is really happening? Kenya is becoming a laughing stock, especially in the international community. Can you do something so that Kenyans can have confidence that their country is a country which respects the rule of law? If there is a problem, let the police arrest the culprits, let them take them to court so that they can be charged. If there is any crime they have committed, let the law takes its course, rather than intimidating people. Some of the children have died. You know, some of the abductees are really giving very heart-wrenching information about how they endured. I mean, they in the hands of their captors. So this is not really good for you. You promised Kenyans, and I remember very well, we were out here telling the former regime to respect you, to respect your democratic rights. You cried every day, telling Kenyans you are going to change things. But now, from the point of view right now, as Kenyans are, they're really concerned about your way of governance. It's far more worse than what we saw from the previous regime. So, Mr. President, can you really do your due diligence and make Kenyans have confidence in you? Because as I'm speaking to you today, the public has no. Let me give you a good number that we are continuing to do a poll, and I can tell you from the from what we've collected right now. Let me not preempt the results. But the preliminary results I've gotten from Kenyans across the globe, they are saying they are not confident with your government, and if it were possible, the very best option for you was to just resign, like just the way the Korean president resigned because things are not rosy. So, Mr. President, we urge you, we request you, we beg you to allow the rule of law to take its course, rather than the intimidation and the threats from your team. Thank you. May God bless you. Till next time. So we'll be having more sessions, especially on Sunday prime time. So let's hope that next Sunday we'll be having a discussion with either Dr. Newton Kidiri or one or two dignitaries from the Kenyan populace who really understands the political landscape and what really needs to be done for our country, Kenya, to progress or to go ahead. Thank you, and may God bless you.